All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter. Merry Christmas, everybody. As you can see behind me, all four of the Advent candles are lit. Got the tree over here and everything's got my Santa hat on. Kick back tonight and getting ready for Christmas. Hope you guys are ready. Joining me tonight, of course, as usual, signing on now is Joey Nuggs, and we've also got AIWF World Heavyweight Champion Damian Wayne is here with us tonight as well, I believe. Waiting for Joey to come on camera and the champion to come on camera as well, and we'll get into our announcements here in just a second. What did I do with them? Technical difficulties. Joey Nuggs looks like he's having a little trouble getting in here. And AIWF Superfan Madison wanting to come on as well. But again, good evening, everybody, and Merry Christmas. Let's get into the announcements. And let's go. All right. So, as usual, we'll talk to you about for advertising inquiries with the AIWF Ringside Wrestling, including at live events and the AIWF Roku channel. $10 a month will get you a 1 to 2 minute read on this show. You can reach out to us at AIWF20@hotmail.com, or preferably reach out to me directly. You can hit me up with a DM and Facebook. And we can chat. It's a great deal in advertising if you do side project, do something besides your regular shoot job, or if you've got a business you want to promote. I don't think you can beat our advertising rates anywhere. So I'm not kidding you. Every week on this show, we'll do a read for you, and it's only $10 a month. And we'd certainly love to have you along. AIWF is now on Instagram. All you have to do is search AIWF Mid-Atlantic Wrestling on Instagram. There's not much there yet, but just give us time. I'm kind of new to Instagram, so I'm learning my way around the app. And so just bear with us. We'll have some more content for you on the Instagram account after our Big Show Seasons Beatings, which is coming up next weekend. I'd like to welcome a brand new sponsor to AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Branch Management is a tree service that operates in the Mount Airy and Surrey County area of North Carolina. They can help you with branches that are maybe too close to structures, normal pruning, or complete tree removal. They offer very competitive rates and free estimates. They are here to serve you. You may also be eligible for a $100 referral bonus. You can call 336-325-5300 for more information or to set up an appointment. They'll be glad to help you out. For those of you who may own property, sometimes those old tree branches hanging over structures and everything could be a liability issue. If you've got any type of thing like that, if your trees just need pruning or anything like that, you can reach out to Branch Management, our new sponsor here on AIWF Ringside Wrestling, for assistance. Again, the telephone number to call for Branch Management, 336-325-5300. And we would like to thank them a whole lot for being a part of the show. All right. King Enterprises presents American Pro Wrestling coming your way Christmas night. This is down in Boiling Springs, South Carolina. Big event there. Good friend of the show, Michael King, who's going to be on in January with some of his wrestlers. It's American Pro Wrestling at 122 Builders Court, Boiling Springs, South Carolina. This is Christmas night, 6:30 p.m. Doors open 8 p.m. bell time. Boiling Springs is in the Spartanburg area. Adults $10, kids 5 and under 6 free. And this looks like a handicap match. Chris James, Reno Royce, and Dump Truck taking on Jet Morris, and this is for sole possession of the Tag Team Championship belt. AJ Frost is going to take on some poor unfortunate soul in a U.S. title match. And Squeaks the Clown versus an AEPW Circus Monkey. My goodness, man.
Did you notice something there? They have an anti-AEPW logo on the front.
Yeah,
so is he's actually paying for the wrestling event himself, King Enterprises?
No, I don't know, man. This poster.
Well, look how it looks at the top.
I know, I get it, man. I think Michael King is looking to take down the APW, take it over or something.
Yeah, he might be buying them out. He's a very rich man, I've been told.
Yeah, he is. And
there you go. Good for him. Looks like it's going to be a good year for King Enterprises.
It very well may be, and we're going to be hearing from Michael in the weeks to come. So I was talking to him earlier today. He is a mover and shaker in this business, no doubt about it. So any promotion in the Carolinas better watch out if he comes calling. Joey Nuggs, like yourself, he is a very, very entrepreneur-minded manager and is out to find the best talent and just take over everything. So speaking of friends of the show, check this out, a new promotion down in Augusta, Georgia, called the Bad Boys of Wrestling. As you can see by their logo, established in 2021. We had Jasmine Hayo on the show a few weeks ago, and she is going to be in a title match, looks like, coming up on Saturday, January 29th at the Augusta Fairgrounds against Divine, I believe. I don't know Divine's full name, but it's definitely for the women's title. Jasmine Hayo is chasing the gold all over the South, and this will be taking place at 305 Hale Street in Augusta, 30901. VIP tickets are $12. General admission tickets are $10. Bell time 8 p.m. for this event. For more info, you can call them at 706-945-2676. So, and I ask you to bear with me, folks. It's hard to talk for a living when your jaw is sore, but I had a tooth pulled last week, and it still hurts. All right. Speaking All-Star Wrestling Alliance, here's another show they've got coming up this Sunday, January 2nd. Next weekend, same place at 1742 Nices. Well, I'm sorry, this is not same place. 1742 Nices Highway, Orangeburg, South Carolina. Crossroads House of Pain. This is a free event, free food. And basically, my understanding from the advertisement I read, Joey Nuggs, this is where some of the younger talent that are still in wrestling school, they're giving them a chance to actually have real matches in front of a crowd.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so this is a free show. Doors open at 2:00. The show starts at 3. All-Star Wrestling Alliance putting this on, and it's sponsored by Right Way Auto and the Glamour Conference and Personal Branding Coach. Okay.
Sounds great. In Orangeburg, I've done many shows in the days back in the day in Orangeburg, South Carolina. That is a hot crowd. And the people in Orangeburg, believe it or not, they will not get in a car and drive down the highway to Columbia to watch a wrestling event. If you bring it to their hometown, they will show up every month in troves of people. So that's awesome. We might see some future AIWF champions in the making at that event.
Yep, absolutely. And of course, Orangeburg, hometown of Shelton Benjamin.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here's one a little farther north. This is taking place in Mitchell, Indiana. This is the one we were kind of laughing about a couple of weeks ago, Joey.
Yeah, barbecue, butts and more.
Yeah, and remember, it had the Honky Tonk Man on there against, he had a mystery partner and mystery opponents, but that match has come together.
It's Pogo.
Pogo, the Honky Tonk Man and Pogo teaming up to go against the Canadians. Also on the championship, also on the card that night, the PPW Championship is on the line. Kamala Jr. takes on Victor Petrov. The Indiana title on the line. The always dangerous John Anderson taking on Robbie Mandel. And the Rising Star title on the line as Big Jack Wilder takes on Dewey Brown. This takes place New Year's Day, January 1st at the historic Emerson Gym in Mitchell, Indiana. Doors at 6:30, bell time at 7. Tickets available now at facebook.com. Just search Primitive Pro Wrestling. And
that's awesome. And PPW.
Yeah, presenting a New Year old school event coming up in Mitchell, Indiana next Saturday. All right. Also wrestling down in Texas. Our friends in Paris, Texas present New Year's Revenge. The event's going to be taking place at 325 Clement Road in Paris, Texas. Tickets are $15 for adults, $20 for a couple. Now that's a good deal. You know, you can, if you bring your wife or girlfriend or significant other, so be it, with you, you can get in for only $20 for both of you.
Yeah.
It says kids 12 to 5, $5. So I guess any kids under 5 will be free. It's brought to you by American Pride Championship Wrestling. And I just see Wrestling Association on that other logo. Knucklehead Championship Wrestling in there as well. So it looks like this is 3 different promotions coming together to bring this event to you. New Year's Revenge taking place on January 22nd in Paris, Texas.
All right.
All right. Now a little bit closer to home, Joey Nuggs, a big one for us. AIWF Mid-Atlantic presents Seasons Beatings, the 25th anniversary of this show. I was at the first one at Bassett High School back in 1997. Headlined that night by a no disqualification, anything goes hardcore match between the Ghost Rider Jackie Anderson and our own Rick Diesel. And that show, believe it or not, we put probably about 500 people in Bassett High School that night. It was absolutely huge. It was the biggest crowd for an independent show we had seen in Bassett until the next year in 1998, when that show was headlined by a steel cage match, a 3-way match for the AIWF Championship at the time. Buddy Landell, the Nature Boy Buddy Landell, defended against Terminator X and Chains. And anybody knows Axton Ray from Tennessee Wrestling, School of Morton, Chains was his father. I don't even know if Axton was born in 1998. But that night, believe it or not, Terminator X came out on top and won the AIWF Championship, defeating both Buddy Landell and Chains in that match. But this year's edition is going to be taking place at our home base in Veterans Park at Mount Airy. Tickets are very reasonable, $8 for ringside, $6 for general admission. Important to note here, folks, doors open at 4 p.m. Bell time is at 5 p.m. as we're going to be doing early starts as we move through the winter months at Veterans Park. So don't worry, we will get you home in a decent hour coming up Saturday, January 1st for Seasons Beatings, and a couple of match announcements have happened. This is the one that was announced first, and I know Joey Nuggs you're looking forward to as well as I am. TV title is on the line as Benny Conley takes on the relative newcomer Jack, and we're going to take a look at some video. I'm sure some of you have seen it already on the Mid-Atlantic page over the last week of a confrontation between Benny Conley and Jack, but this takes place, it's for the TV title. It'll be Saturday, January 1st. At Veterans Park, again, special bell time, 5 p.m. Another match that's been signed for this big event that we're certainly excited about, Reindeer Games, tag team title match featuring 4 teams.
Wow.
Look at this. The champions, Pro Wrestling DNA, are going to defend against Gorilla Q and Matt Anderson, Paul Perazzi, and Kason Kane and David Parrish. My goodness, it's going to be a miracle if they can walk out of the Reindeer Games match with the tag team title. This is huge. 4 teams in the ring at one time, Joey Nuggs.
And that's for the tag team titles.
Yes, it is. That's correct. Yeah, no, that's going to be
now
crazy.
That, I'm going to tell you something. That is a main event anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. So I don't see that Kevin Stryker or Smiling Diamond Dave has joined us yet. So I don't know if they're going to be coming on board or not. But Joey Nuggs, we have some video we want to share with the folks at home, some exclusive video. Thank you to AIWF Network for providing us this video. They're always real easy to work with, especially now that Kevin Phoenix is helping out with that deal. So let's take a look. For those of you who don't know, Joey Nuggs and Jack had a big announcement to make when we were in Mount Airy So let's take a look at this video clip right here and have a listen at Joey Nuggs and Jack's big announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Joey Nuggs. I am the greatest wrestling manager in the history of wrestling. You know what? I just did the power play. I now manage Jax, and he is the god of combat sports. If you wrestlers out there anywhere in the AIWF want the best manager possible, call Joey Nuggs. And by the way, I'm looking for some wrestlers to be his backup. Not that he ever needs it.
Wow, Joey Nuggs, big.
Wow, I'm looking good these days.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm looking good these days.
Yeah, that's a huge acquisition for you. And for those of you fans who don't know, Jack came to us during the fair shows back in September and has really cut a swath through all the competition. I mean, he has done very well, Joey Nuggs, and
Sure.
I mean, I don't know how much you can discuss or how much you're able to or willing to discuss with us about the negotiations that went on to bring Jack into the fold, but this is a big deal.
What can I explain? What can I let on at this point? I don't know if you were there when I talked about when I first came in October. I was having dreams and people were asking me why I came into the AIWF after all these years. And I kept telling people I was having a dream. I didn't know what the dream meant. Well, I finally have an understanding. It has come to me, the vision, the prophecy, the God of combat sports was speaking to me in my dreams. I finally understand the premonition, what happened to me. I was brought here to manage the God of combat sports and to take AIWF Mid-Atlantic to the next level. Mm-hmm. It's guaranteed. I'm going to bring championship gold to the AIWF to like no other. I'm going to tell you, nobody at this point is safe. I don't care whoever you're, Damian Wayne, the world heavyweight champion, or whoever. I'm telling you, you are now on warning. You are on blast. I'm telling you right out, no titles are safe now. No titles are safe. Trained MAA specialist. This man is a trained specialist. Look what happened in the ring. It was sickening. It was beautiful. I almost jumped up and down like I was a little kid. I felt like I was a kid on Christmas morning. God, it's beautiful. I'm gonna have the best Christmas I've had in years.
Awesome. Well, best of luck to you, Joey Nuggs. But Benny Conley is no slouch. But it's certainly a big match. It's Jack's first title shot. And I mentioned, we talked about this off air a little bit, but I wanted to talk about how these MMA guys and these martial artists, when they come into wrestling, how they really change the game up against a traditionally trained wrestler. Martial arts is legal in pro wrestling. So certain aspects of it, I mean, you can't just flat, chop a guy in the throat or kick him in the throat like, full contact blood sport type kumite or something. But most of it is allowed. The first glimpse I got of this when I was a kid, and I just want to set this up just for a little context. When I was a little kid, was watching Worldwide Wrestling and actually told Johnny Weaver's daughter, Wendy Weaver, at the Darlings of the Ring event about this. Johnny Weaver had been coaching Dusty Rhodes, this is 1987, and teaching him how to use the Weaver lock, which is a sleeper hold Johnny used. Well, to counteract that, J.J. Dillon and the Four Horsemen actually brought in Hiro Matsuda to try to thwart Dusty coming after Lex Luger at Starrcade, right? Mm-hmm. So anyway, Johnny Weaver was concerned about that, and he talked with Bob Caudle on the NWA Pro about how when Hiro Matsuda had really hurt somebody back in 1967 with that sleeper hold, and how important it was when you apply a sleeper to wake somebody up, and how that Hiro Matsuda's sleeper, although it looked the same as American wrestlers' sleepers, was deadly. because he was trained in martial arts.
Yes, sir.
So later that day on Worldwide Wrestling, same television taping down at Spartanburg at the Memorial Auditorium. JJ Dillon told everybody he was going to bring Hiro Matsuda out and have him show head referee Tommy Young the Oriental Sleeper, as they called it at the time, which I know that's not the right PC nomenclature now, but that's just what you're going to hear in this video, and it is what it is. So take a look at this now and see what happened when a trained martial artist puts a sleeper hold on, just normal, how do I put it? Normally trained wrestlers, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So just bear with me a second, and I'm gonna get that clip up here for you. Hopefully I don't pay YouTube $12, so hopefully they won't make me guess watching ads. Here we go. Check this out. This is from Worldwide Wrestling in 1987.
Awesome.
Yeah, have you ever seen that before?
No, I never saw that before.
Yeah, that gave me nightmares. I told Wendy Weaver, I was like, your dad and Hiro Matsuda gave me nightmares, and you saw the blood come out of Johnny Weaver's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what was really eerie about that, and Kevin Stryker has joined us, Nate Diamond has joined us. Thank you guys. What was really weird about that though, Johnny, he was out, but his eyes were open. You could tell he was unconscious and his eyes was open and blood was trickling from his mouth. And it just, I had seen the sleeper used by a lot of American wrestlers before, and it put the guy to sleep, and that was it. But I mean, to instantly make a guy unconscious like that and bleed from the mouth, and just, that was a really eerie looking situation, and that, I'm telling you, that was as quiet. If you've ever been to Spartanburg and Memorial Auditorium to a wrestling show, that is as quiet as you will ever hear that crowd, ever. And that it goes to this day. That place is thunderously loud. And you could hear when they got angry and started yelling for Dusty, how it went from, deadly silent to, a roar, within a few seconds. And I'd show you that video, guys. And Kevin Stryker, Nate Diamond, I'm glad you guys are here because I want you to comment on it. It just shows me that when you're in the ring with a guy that's trained in martial arts, like Benny Conley is going up against Jack, when they apply these submission holds, sleeper hold, what do they call it? Joey, you know more about MMA than I do.
Talking about the rear naked chokehold.
Yeah, or like an arm bar. What's that? They call it a Kimura, right? That arm bar lock that people tap out to instantly.
Mm-hmm.
How just really when you're facing somebody that's trained in martial arts. Kevin, Nate, can you speak to us and kind of explain to us how that adds another very difficult dynamic to your game plan when you're going up against somebody like that?
Yeah, I mean, it does. It takes a lot of studying and scouting your opponent to be able to overcome stuff like that. If you go in blindly and you're not paying attention, then easily it's applied and easily you're done. So if you don't, you got to do a lot of scouting on everything so that way you can watch for the setups. Because I'm not necessarily saying it's a setup, but most guys, I'm not saying you can telegraph it, so to speak, but most guys have certain things that they do to get their opponent in that position to apply those holds, and you've got to figure out a way to try to counter it the best you can.
Nate, you're with us. You've got a lot of experience in this sport too, so I'll pose you the same question. When you're going up against somebody that has martial arts training and is very skilled with that particular set of abilities, how does that change your strategy? We're going into a match with somebody like that.
Well, definitely, you have to be prepared. me personally, there's been a lot of times that I've not known, and it definitely the not knowing, but to know it, it definitely takes you from having to prepare in a different aspect.
Yeah, not knowing, what a nice surprise that is when you get in the ring.
Yeah,
you go to lock up with somebody and you find out they're black belt.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, incredible. And we preface all this by, and we're talking about, the big match for the TV title coming up at Seasons Beatings. And so after that match was announced, Benny Conley sat down with our cameras in the locker room, and some of you may have seen this footage. I know a lot of you had. The last time I checked, it was close to 600 hits on this thing. So, but anyway, let's take a look. For those who haven't, let's take a look at what happened. Hang on a second. I got my settings all screwed up again. Let's take a look at what happened when Benny Conley was sharing his thoughts about his upcoming match at Seasons Beatings with Jack.
I just got over a very grueling, hard-fought competition against Jamal the Titan, and I come back here, I get dressed, and I find out I have to go one-on-one with Jack. And this guy is an MMA specialist. This guy, people talk great things about him, and I love a challenge, don't get me wrong, but this might be one of the biggest challenges.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Next month, Seasons Beatings, shine it up because we're taking it home with us. Next television champion, his name is Jax, and he is the god of combat sports. Take it with you. Come on.
Oh, that looks great. I love that one.
That's why I showed that Hiro Matsuda clip, because when I saw that originally, that's what it reminded me of. Did you guys see how fast Benny Conley went out? Now, granted, that was from behind, and say what you want about that. I know Kevin Stryker, how you and Nate Diamond, how you guys both feel about jumping a guy from behind. But the thing that shocked me on that thing was just how fast Benny Conley went out. It was like 3-4 seconds and his eyes shut. And I honestly think he was out before that.
I mean, it just goes to show that people like that like to come up from you behind is not man enough to come up there and try to do it face to face. So
Let me explain to you what happened there before you continue face to face. This is called the rear naked choke, okay? It is actually, there's different chokes out there. There's ones that are called air chokes. Then there's ones that are called blood chokes. And the rear naked choke is actually what's called a blood choke. It's what you call vascular. And there's different arteries and veins on the side of the neck, on the upper and lower. And then on the bottom, there's something called the carotid artery. And when you shut this air off, these blood flow to the brain, everything goes black really quick, because without air to the brain, I mean, there's blood leaving and going to the brain. You can't function and you black out pretty quick. And ask Ty Tyson. He about went out twice. If it wasn't for his buddies there in Mid-Atlantic, he'd went out twice that night. It was pretty good. I don't know. You weren't there, Matt. I think you were all watching some Siberian Histories or something. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. But I did cut a promo for the promotion on the floor of the Spectrum Center. So, I mean, come on. I had wrestling on my mind. But, so I don't know. That's it. So let me see if I can understand. We're calling it a rear naked choke.
That's what it is.
But a chokehold, like a chokehold, like grab you by the Adam's apple and squeeze in wrestling is illegal. But a sleeper hold, even though you're calling it a rear naked choke, you're not really cutting off the guy's windpipe. You're shutting off the flow of blood through the carotid artery, correct? Right.
Because the windpipe's here. You're not putting pressure. You can push it a long time. Someone for them to go out losing air on that takes a long time. You shut off the blood flow to the brain. and you can't function without blood flow to the brain. You like I said, there's you have different veins that go upper and lower into the brain that go. I mean, it's all connected here on the side, and you stick someone and all that goes out. I mean, you go to sleep. That's just how it is.
You're going to sleep.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, Kevin, Nate Diamond, you guys are experienced in-ring competitors. What I have thankfully, I got put in a sleeper hold once, but it was on a bet, and I went out pretty fast. And it's definitely not something to play around with. But when you think about those sleeper holds and that type of thing, I mean, that's a little bit scary, man. When somebody's got that MMA training and come up behind you like that, just put you out so quickly. I don't know.
I remember when I was a kid watching.
Never been in a match.
You guys remember when you was a kid? I know you guys had Southern wrestling. I grew up in Central Pennsylvania, and in WWF, you had Chief Jay Strongbow, and he used to put people asleep with a sleeper hold. And at the end of it, when they were out, he'd have to pick them up and smack them on the back of the neck to wake them up. Yeah, puts that airflow back into the neck so they could try to wake up again.
Well, like you could cause I have heard for years, and again, Joey, you can educate me, and you guys that are wrestlers can educate me. If you put somebody out like that, and you don't wake them up, if you leave them there, it can cause permanent brain damage, right? If you
without no air to the brain, you definitely permanent brain damage. You could be drooling and never wake back up.
Man, that's scary. And we used to play that knockout game when I was a teenager. Man, it makes you, when you see something like that, it makes you really like. It's a wonder we lived through that. We really did some stupid things when we were kids, but I don't know. Talking about submission holds and all that kind of stuff. Bobby Dalton has joined us as well. Welcome, Bobby. Glad you could make it tonight. I don't see that the world champion has joined us, but maybe he'll come in later. I don't know. But guys, thoughts, opinions. We got Benny Conley, who is a experienced wrestler, great history. He's going up against a newcomer, but he's a newcomer to AIWF Mid-Atlantic and the pro wrestling scene, but definitely not combat sports. So, talk to me, each one of you. Tell me your thoughts about this big match with Benny Conley and Jack coming up on New Year's Day.
Well, the match between Benny Conley and Jack, first and foremost, just because of Jack having Joey Snubs by his side on the outside or whatever.
So it begins.
More than likely is going to give Jax the slight edge because Conley will be distracted by both places, in and outside the ring. But at the same time, although Jax is equipped with martial arts and MMA fighting and stuff like that, I've been in the ring with people with the likes of martial arts. Creeping Death being
that's right.
Yeah, so there was many a times that everybody thought that Creeping Death would have the advantage over everybody just because he knew the martial arts and he knew all the submission moves. He knew how to kick and punch and everything else. But sometimes straight up street fighting outdoes some of that martial arts, especially if you know how to use the person's momentum to your advantage. And there will not be no sneaking up from behind, putting somebody in a rear naked chokehold or a sleeper hold to catch them off guard to put them to sleep. Going to have to figure out a way how to do that face to face.
Bobby, you're muted. Bobby, you're muted. There you go.
How's that?
There you go. Now we can hear you loud and clear. Nate Diamond looks like he's in a Little Caesars. I'm going to just stooge on him right now. I saw the poster behind you. Give me some cheesy sticks while you're there, Nate. Go ahead, Bobby. Give us your analysis. I'll let Nate take care of his pizza business, and then we'll ask him for his.
Well, Kevin said it right there. I mean, having all that background is good, but the one thing it takes is that intestinal fortitude. It all comes out to who's got the most desire and the drive to come out as champion. And yes, having somebody on the outside does have a little distraction. However, if you look at it, Benny has somebody on the outside too, and that's all his fans. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be an evenly matched match right here. So, I give it the advantage to the champion right now.
Well, I mean, I kind of agree with you there, Bobby. Yes, Benny does have his fans out there, but there's a slight difference between having fans and having somebody right there at ringside that can actually, I don't know, put their hands on.
Interfere.
If you get a fan out there, then more than likely there's going to be a lot of trouble for that fan that tries to interfere in the match.
I agree with you there, but
there's a slight difference that can. If you got support of the fans, yes, that's great, and you can feed off of that. But when you have the distraction of the outside with the manager that likes to put his hands in places where they shouldn't be, then the edge goes to that one person with the manager.
But no, neither one of you are saying that Joey Nuggs would interfere in a match, though, are you? That's not what you're saying.
I am really sitting over here and that you implying that I would ever cheat and that type of thing. I am a stand-up, honorable gentleman of a man, and I am appalled by you even thinking these things.
I remember your first run in this company. Come on. Nate Diamond, you got any thoughts for us? Analysis for this match? I know you're multitasking right now, to say the very least.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, where's the pizza?
It's right here beside me. I got like 5 of them, but it took me like an hour to get it.
So what happened to hot and ready? Goodness sakes.
Yeah, really. And I even ordered it on the app.
Wow.
Go figure that. Hey, I want to say, I've heard the comments back and forth, but, we don't take nothing away from Benny, though. I don't care if it's the rear naked chokehold or what. When you come face to face inside that ring, you're not coming up from behind, and we all know about the coming up from behind and everything. Trust me, I've been there too many times. But when 2 individuals step in that ring and they come face to face, I'm excited to see this match. But all of that, you got to kind of put all of that to the side. Jack's MMA background, but when it comes toe to toe and face to face, sometimes the outcome can be different.
Yeah,
that's where a lot of times going face to face, brains outweighs the brawn.
Basics with Babish is sponsored.
Yeah, absolutely.
I totally agree.
It just all comes down to who wants it the most.
Absolutely. And let's see here. I'm fishing around for some footage of Chief Jay Strongbow, since Joey Nuggs brought him up and we're talking about sleeper. Let's see. I'm trying to think about good sleeper holds I've seen throughout the years. Let's see. Brutus Beefcake used one. Johnny Weaver, as we talked about earlier, used one. Chief Jay Strongbow used one. Tennessee wrestling. I'm trying to think. Jerry Lawler used the pile driver, but I'm trying like East Tennessee, Knoxville, Fuller wrestling. I'm trying to think. I don't know all of my Knoxville wrestling history. Who was strong with the sleeper hold and in that department. I'm trying to think.
What did Don and Ron? Did they?
Ron Wright used his chisel.
Chisel, the chisel.
Yeah, remember his chisel? I'm gonna take my chisel and put him a Tennessee dog whooping on him. I still remember from Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Bob Caudle was interviewing him, asking him about how dangerous a Tennessee chain match was. And he said, "I only lost one Tennessee chains match in my entire career. Some fan up in the balcony throwed a liquor bottle out of the balcony, hit me in the head, knocked me plumb out. That's the only reason I lost." Like, wow. Tennessee wrestling must have been wild back in the day, buddy. But so those are not the only two matches that are going to be on the card come January 1st. We're waiting for more match announcements, and we encourage you to keep your eyes on the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling page in the days to come, as we will get more match announcements, I'm sure. I know the promoters are working hard. I kind of saw a soft list of what they're trying to put together, but it's definitely going to be a lot of action. A great way to spend your New Year's Day. It's not early, so you'll have plenty of time to get over that hangover before you head out to the show. The bell time's at 5 o'clock, so you won't miss any of the big bowl games. And if you're wanting to see the WWE event from Atlanta, that doesn't start until 8 o'clock, so we'll get you home in time to see that. But it's definitely going to be a big night of wrestling as we celebrate the 25th anniversary of Seasons Beatings. Kevin Stryker, I think you've been at about every one of the Seasons Beatings just like I have.
Yes, I have. I mean, I was in the first, this is what, the 25th?
Yeah, season? We started in 97 in Bassett High School.
Yeah. I've been in all of them, all the way up to the 20th, I believe. Mm-hmm. All Seasons Beatings, but I was in the first 20. Of course, I retired 5 years ago, so that sort of takes out that. But I've been to all 25 years of AIWF Seasons Beatings, and
it certainly is a tradition. And we normally would normally this show happens before Christmas, but it is Seasons Beatings, and so we can have it all the way up. And I guess there's 12 days of Christmas, so we can have it all the way up to January 5th or 6th, I guess. But it's going to be on New Year's Day this year, and it's certainly going to be a happening. I'm looking forward to it. But Joey Nuggs, what have you been doing? What have you been doing to work as much as you can divulge? Because I know, training regiments and that kind of stuff, there's not so much you're going to be willing to tell us. But as you look at Benny Conley, what do you see that you are having to game plan really, Jax, for, to get him ready for Benny's particular style?
First off, you guys just keep talking about people sneaking up from behind. You got to understand, Jax is an MMA expert. Do you think that he has more than just one move to his arsenal? It would be just a choke. That man could twist your body into positions that you can't imagine. He could break tendons, twist cartilage, break bones. He could leave that man professionally injured that he'll never see next New Year's. I mean, you don't understand the amount of violence that I'm going to bring to that day to January 1st. You call Seasons Beatings, it's going to be a beating of a lifetime for Mr. Conley. He should have never, ever got past what's his name? TNT. He stuck past that guy, and he should have been lucky he got past him. He's not getting past Jax, the god of combat sports. The new year, I might have a hangover when I walk in the building, but trust me, I'll be sober when we leave with that title.
And then you can go party again in town, another one if you guys win. But Nate,
I'm going to party. It ain't going to be a Mount Airy. I could tell you that much.
I just want to do. Obviously, Matt. It being Christmas and all. Obviously, Joey hasn't opened up my Christmas present that I got him. And I got it. I was thinking of you, Matt, when I got it, because I feel like that every week that we tune in, I felt like that he needs a muzzle, because all he wants to do is just run his mouth.
Are you kidding me? If I wasn't on this show, no one would ever watch this show. We're having a hard enough time getting ratings as it is. and you want to, the one person that people actually might tune in to watch, you want me to be muzzled. Go ahead, Nate Diamond. Tell us about the 12 days of Christmas. We'll wait.
The 12 days of Christmas. Well, you know, it amazes me that the time frame that you've been on this show, like, I admit that, like, I've took a break and I've been away, but I mean, all you want to do is talk. I'm looking forward to you know, season's meetings, because you think that Jax is going to walk in there and make you money and walk out the champion? Now, you answer me this. Let's just say that the stars line up and Benny comes away retaining the TV championship. What is in store for Mr. Nuggs then?
What do you think, that if he loses, that I'm retiring as a manager? I mean, I'm not saying that any battle inside AIWF is going to be easy walk in the park. No, the man's a champion for a reason, and he's a fighting champion. He's willing to take on all challengers. But I believe that with the training, plus me as a fountain of knowledge and the years of experience as a manager I have, I can lead this man to championship gold. I can guarantee that he's going to, if it's not this one, Mickey Fulp should be worried about his title. I don't think there's any champion in the AIWF that shouldn't be nervous at this point. I think you're thinking the man doesn't have the experience to get the job done. I think he has not only experience to get the job done, he has the experience to get the job done well and quickly and in a violent and fast manner. I think that the champions of AIWF don't know what they have in store for them with this man. Last time we spoke, you said that he was the wild card in the tag team match. Yeah, he was the wild card. All right, you should have seen it. It was wild that night. You were watching the Siberian Huskies or something, and you missed all of it. But I'll tell you, I see him twice put Ty Tyson to sleep.
Well, I mean, and that's no easy task. And Jack certainly appears to be ready. And like I said, you know, this match, when it was signed, it drew my interest immediately, because Benny he shocked everybody. I mean, I don't want to say he shocked everybody, but the way he won the title was a little bit controversial. I mean, it was very close, but I mean, he ended the thing with Jamal the Titan, I think, about as fair and square as you possibly could. And now, immediately, you know, no rest for the weary. He's got another challenger coming at him, and this guy, Jack, I'm telling you, he's dead serious. When we first saw him show up, he came into the ring and wrestled in a pair of jeans and combat boots, and he has gone on a tear since he's been there. And the kid's dangerous, that's for sure.
The kid's dangerous, but see, the thing about it is what Joey Nuggs don't seem to understand is Rome wasn't built in a day. It's going to take more than just one match to put fear into any guy in the AIWF.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he don't even put fear into me, and I'm retired.
Ooh, okay.
But I'm just saying, Rome wasn't built in a day, so don't automatically think that you're walking in New Year's night without a belt and walking out New Year's night with a belt. Because even the best of managers tend to falter every once in a while. They tend to get off on that slow start just before they start rising to the top. I mean, take Jim Cornette, for example. Midnight Express. He felt a lot of losing ways before he ever found that right combination to take the Midnight Express to the top. So just remember that.
He had tough time when he started in Memphis, that's for sure, before he got that team together and they went to Mid-South. So that's certainly true. So I guess what you're trying to say in a manner of speaking, Kevin Stryker, is to Joey Nuggs, are you telling him you got to lose one to win one? Because I think he would probably disagree.
Something to that effect. I mean, hell, sometimes, like I said, it takes over bronze for a lot of stuff, and you go in thinking bronze going to win without using that a little bit. Hell, you might lose 10 before you ever win one. Who knows? But he's young now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not discrediting Jack at all. He's tough. He's vicious.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. But sometimes that brain outweighs the brawn, because if you don't use that head, then that means your mind's not in the game. I mean, hell, look at what I had to go through to get my job back at the AIWF a while back.
Mm-hmm.
Creative Control thought they was going to keep me out by sending this 500-pound clown to come out there and try to squash me. Didn't happen.
Hi. Who are you?
Nate Diamond is delivering pizzas, everybody. And this is
finally arrived. Hey, before I get off here, I've got to go. I just want to thank each and every one of the AIW fans for this year. You know, with everything going on with myself, you've kind of allowed me to come back, and I'll just end with this. Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. To the staff of Ringside Wrestling, it has been an honor to be a part of each week and being asked to come on and to be able to talk wrestling. You know, and I encourage a lot of the younger talent, even younger than me, to take 2022 and come and be a part of this. But Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. And AIWF Mount Airy 2022, Nate Diamond is coming back. And if I have to start from the bottom, my goal is to reach gold in 22. Y'all have a very Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Nate. You're always welcome here. Thank you, sir. Wow. Throwing down the hammer right there. He says he's coming for gold in 2022.
Copy that speech are available by sending a self-addressed stamp envelope to the network. Please make sure that you do put it attention, Nate Diamond.
Me do that.
Well, I was going to say if it went to that old crew in South Carolina, they probably wouldn't open it for 6 months. But but
I can appreciate it. The man was speaking from the heart around the holidays. Probably had a little eggnog before he came on.
Well, I hope not. He was driving.
I don't know. We're getting some pizzas. The 49ers are ready to come on in a couple minutes here.
I know, and they're playing Tennessee, and I am worried sick. I don't know if I'm gonna watch the game or the old NWA wrestling reruns on Peacock. I don't know. But anyway,
that's right. The real team plays Sunday, so that's all right.
Do what?
The real team plays Sunday when Dallas beats Washington. So that's all.
Please. Okay. But anyway, don't get me started. Kevin Stryker.
It's been a great week for football. I mean, with all these cancellation games. I mean, we had Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We are off Wednesday. We have today, Thursday, tomorrow, then Saturday and Sunday. We have games again.
Yeah, loaded with football, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Speaking of football, did you guys see that Texas A&M bowed out of the Gator Bowl?
No.
And so yes, they are out of the Gator Bowl, and Rutgers has stepped in, and you're going to play Wake Forest in the Gator Bowl. So certainly, you folks in the Mount Airy area, I know you'll be interested in that. Wake Forest is kind of a local team up there, and they're my favorite too. So I figured I'd mention them. So, but anyway, guys, we're about out of time. Any closing thoughts? Do need to let you fans know there will not be a Ringside Wrestling show next week because I'm going to be out of town. But there will not be an AIWF Ringside Wrestling show next week. Yes, sir. Kevin Stryker.
Do you mind if I just get real here for a minute?
Go right ahead.
All right. This has nothing to do with the wrestling.
Uh-oh. Please don't tell us you got cancer.
No, nothing like that.
Thank you.
A lot of people don't realize what happened and transpired with me last weekend. And if you don't already know, I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure everybody's out there in the AIWF land has seen some of the posts that I've made on Facebook. And it's not, I mean, this ain't Sergeant Stryker speaking, this is Kevin Clark speaking. I'm really blessed, honored, and humbled to know that I had a lot of support, not only from the AIWF locker room, but all of the AIWF fans and all my friends and family. Mm-hmm. And I just want to take this time to say from the bottom of my heart that I love each and every one of you. And I greatly appreciate all the support and heartfelt love that I've had since everything transpired. I'm on a road to recovery. It's going to be a long road. I'm going to have my good days and my bad days, but nevertheless, I'll get through it.
Yeah, and it's a good time to remind people too. See, this is the kind of thing that our veterans go through. You know, people that serve this country. So we can sit here and talk about wrestling and football and, you know, argue about dumb stuff. You know, and so for you folks out there, you know, and you know, I know it's cliche. You always say thank you for your service to service members, but always, you know, it's important. It's important. They need to hear that the American public, not just people we know in person, all veterans need to know that we've got their back. And this is just a classic example of that, Kevin. And I'm glad to hear you're doing better and everything. But I mean, you know, it's something that happens. I mean, and mental health is no joke. And people like to joke about it and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, there are ways for you to get help. And if you are out there and you're seeing this and you're experiencing, you know, any type of mental health issues, there's numbers you can call, there's websites you can go to, there's all kinds of support for you. Do not suffer in silence. Don't let it eat you, you know, don't let this type of thing eat you up. And I know it's worse here at the holidays. It is for a lot of people because you're thinking about loved ones lost and that type of thing. You know, all those memories come back, you know, especially this time of year. And so you definitely, it's definitely a good time of year to be reminded of and be aware of mental health issues. And so, you know, again, Kevin, I'm glad to hear you're doing better, but it's a good thing to bring up at the holidays because I'm sure there's some people out there watching this or are going to see this video that are dealing with the same type of stuff. So
exactly. And I mean, I've done it for so many years, and I know we don't have a lot of time and everything, so I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but my depression and everything that I've often showed, often not showed by putting a smile on my face, stems back 30 years of when I lost my mom right before her birthday. I had to make the decision to take her off of life support. And that's a decision that nobody should have to make at that age. So, but just because you're struggling with something, asking for help does not mean you're weak.
Nope, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, folks, that's going to wrap it up. We are out of time for AIWF Ringside Wrestling. Hope to see you on January 1st in Mount Airy at Veterans Park. I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And remember, like we say each and every week, folks that what was I broke my train of thought. Commissioner Rick Diesel just messaged me. What we want to encourage you to do that, even if you're not in the Mount Airy area, get out and support your local indie promotion. Indie promotions thrive just the way promotions did in the territory days. It's live attendance that drives their attendance. you know, everybody runs pay-per-views and all that kind of stuff, but I'm guaranteeing you, man, they don't have enough to buy Starbucks after they get done with all the expenses that deal with that. Live attendance is key. So get out and support your local indie promotion no matter where you're at. Be sure you get out there this weekend. Hey, you guys in Boiling Springs, there's a big show coming your way on Christmas, and there's New Year's Eve shows all over the place. So, and plenty of places for you to see wrestling. So be sure and get out and support your local independent wrestling. So that's all for AIWF Ringside Wrestling this week. For Kevin Stryker, Joey Nuggs, Nate Diamond, and Bobby Dalton, thank you so much. And until next time, so long for now.